This is the 2020 Senior May Experience Send-Off meeting video. Senior May Experience this year will take place from May 11th to May 29th, 2020. Senior May is graded, it is pass-fail grade, and it does show up on your transcript. The requirements or the things that go into your grade are your attendance, meeting your minimum hourly requirements, which does include taking all of your AP exams. You must take these. These are not optional. Submission and quality of your abstract, blog, and final paper, as well as meeting all contractual agreements and deadlines. Please make sure that you are meeting all of these criteria. Every year we have people who either don't pass or come very close to not passing, and that is a really unfortunate thing to have to report out to colleges. For your minimum hourly requirements, you must spend a minimum of 16 to 20 hours per week working. You need to make sure that this is documented in your blog, as well as documented with your field supervisor. Students should keep to their schedule they created for Form CK. Any deviations from the schedule should be communicated with your Senior May advisor. So you put together a schedule, a calendar of what your plans are on your Form CK. If you are going to change that up, if you had planned that you were going to work sometime on Monday and something came up and instead you moved that to working on Saturday, make sure that you let your Senior May advisor know. And you must take all of your AP exams. This is a requirement. You will actually lose credit for your courses, for any AP courses in which you're enrolled if you don't take the AP exam. For the blog, you will have a blog, a WordPress blog at blogs.cranbrook.edu, in which you must present an account of what you did, as well as your reflections, and address additional questions. You may use words or pictures with captions to create your blog. You need to post at least 3 times a week. And in this blog, you need to include the days, hours you worked since your last blog entry. And then you want to keep in mind your privacy and the privacy of your employer or whoever you're working with. So this blog is an internal document. This is private, shared just between you and your Senior May Cranbrook advisor. So in this, you can include pictures of children or more personal information. However, check with your supervisor about what you can and cannot include in more public places like your abstract and your paper. But this blog is private. It is only between you and your Senior May advisor. And this is really important. You cannot share this with your field supervisor. You can't share this with anyone else to make sure that it is authentic and that you feel free and comfortable to say how things are actually going. You can give feedback, and your advisor is going to read and respond to your blog and give you some feedback, maybe ask some questions, things like that. There are some examples of blog entries posted on CranNet if you'd like to see what people have written in the past. Every entry should follow the format where you have the day, the date, and the hours you've worked since your last blog post. It would also be nice if you would break that down to 4 hours on Monday, 3 hours on Tuesday, however much you've worked on each of the days. We have a couple examples. This is a post from a doctor, from someone who's working in a doctor's office, and another from someone who is working in camp. These are posted on CranNet for you to view if you like. For the abstract, an abstract is a project overview. This can be written, photo story, PowerPoint, or video format. We're encouraging you to be creative in this, and the video format or the photo story are definitely more fun than a written or a PowerPoint. If it's a video, you need to post it on YouTube, mark it as unlisted, which means anyone with a link can view, and then send the link to your faculty advisor. Abstracts may be used within the Cranbrook community to showcase projects, so keep that in mind when it comes to privacy concerns for individuals that you might be working with. And this is also something where we may, where if you allow us to, we might broadcast your or use your abstract in something that reaches beyond just the Cranbrook community, but plan on your abstract being available to other members of the upper school faculty and seniors. See Info 4 for more details. Info 4 is posted on CranNet under the topic for this year's 2020 Senior May experience. Your final paper needs to be about, or at least 1,000 pages. That's 3 to 4 typed pages, double-spaced, including overview, goals, expectations, and your actual experience. So your paper should start with an overview of your project, a restatement of your goals and expectations of the project. This is what you wrote in Form CK in answering your questions. A restatement or a studied analysis of how the goals and expectations were met or not met. So go through and look at what you thought you were going to experience and then what you actually experienced. Clearly state what your experience was and what you learned from it. And the last thing is how your education at Cranbrook, including but not limited to classroom instruction, prepared you for this project, or in which ways you wish you were better prepared. So that's the last piece that needs to be in your paper. But remember, 1,000 words, 3 to 4 pages, double-spaced. You should be professional in your project. So that means if you are fortunate enough to get to go to a site, or even if you are going to be virtually attending your project, consider your dress, manners, responsibility, and then your last day behavior. So make sure that you are dressed appropriately for the project. If you have any questions, reach out to your field supervisor for what is the appropriate dress. It's really unfortunate to show up someplace dressed in pajamas, or to zoom in someplace dressed in pajamas and have other people wearing ties or dressed very professionally. So check on that. Be respectful of your field supervisor or sponsor. They have taken you on as an additional responsibility during this really crazy time, and so you want to be respectful and professional with them. You want to be responsible, hold yourself accountable. If they ask you to complete something, make sure you get it done in the time frame requested. And then at the end of your project, be gracious, be thankful, be appreciative, and express that to your field supervisor or sponsor who has been kind enough to take you on. So what is due June 2nd? Your abstract and your final paper need to be uploaded to your Cranbrook Google Drive, the Senior May folder, and that final deadline is 3:30 p.m. Eastern time zone. So that is Michigan time zone, 3:30 p.m. June 2nd. Your abstract and final paper must be uploaded. This is a firm deadline. Your final grades are due the next morning, and so we need to make sure that we are able to get this completed in time for graduation. Any additional questions you have about the project can be directed to your Senior May advisor. If they have questions, they'll reach out to me, Ms. Robinson, or Mr. Connor, or you can also follow up with myself or Mr. Connor with any questions. Be safe, be professional, be in constant contact with your advisor. Have a fantastic time.